Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Former Cumbie ISD math teacher Lucas Ray Hill was sentenced to 405 months, that's 33 years, 9 months, in federal prison Friday morning. He was found guilty of enticement of a minor. He will also serve 5 years supervised release when he leaves prison after serving the day-for-day sentence. Currently, Hill is 39 years of age. According to Ch.18, Chief Criminal Investigator and Sheriff-elect for Hopkins County, the sentence is the maximum allowed by federal law guidelines for this type of offense. Tatum stated that he hopes this sends a message to others who would steal an identity and establish a fake social media account which would be used to exploit children, including the requesting of and solicitation of child pornography. Tatum reminds parents to, quote, be nosy when it comes to their children's social media, unquote. On May 30th, 2015, Hill was arrested for impersonation, name and persona to create a page, and for possession of child pornography. Hill was accused of stealing an identity and establishing a fake social media account which he used to exploit children, including the request of and the soliciting of child pornography. He had maintained a large library of pages and pictures in the social media account. Corley Weatherford, sergeant with the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office, working with the Internet Crimes Against Children, and Amanda Weatherford of the Sulphur Springs Police Department led the investigation. Accompanied by investigators from Hopkins County Sheriff's Office and the ICAC, Weatherford served warrants on Hill the morning of May 30th following graduation at Cumbie High School. At the time, law enforcement seized numerous electronic devices used to obtain child pornography photos. An interlocal agreement with Rockwall County that will house some of the county's inmates in Hopkins County Jail is on the Hopkins County Commissioners Court agenda for Monday. The court meets at 9 a.m. in the courthouse on the first floor courtroom. The contract has cleared attorneys and was on the desk of County Judge Robert Newsom Friday morning. The agreement calls for Rockwall County to pay $45 per day, provide any medical expenses for their inmates, and also provide transportation to and from Hopkins County. Judge Newsom stated that the fees would be used to cover the expenses incurred with the additional population, and it is hoped that some of the funds can be set aside and eventually used for early payoff of the cost of building the local jail. In other action, county commissioners will discuss the proposed tax rate and set a date for 2 public hearings for the proposed tax rate. No increase in rate is expected. The increase is tied to increased property values. Routine county business is also on the agenda. All Texas businesses with multi-line telephone systems allowing for outbound calls must comply by September 1st with new state law requiring direct 911 access. The law requires that anyone making a 911 call not be required to dial 9 or another prefix to access an outside line for emergency calls. Kerry's Law was passed in response to an East Texas incident where a child was unable to call for help from a motel room because she did not know to dial 9 before dialing 911. On May 15, 2015, Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 788, Kerry's Law, in response to the incident. The child had attempted several times to call 911 while Brad Dunn repeatedly stabbed the child's mother, Carrie Renee Hunt Dunn, on December 1, 2013. Dunn is serving a 99-year sentence for murder. For-profit and non-profit businesses and organizations, as well as government entities, agencies, and political subdivisions who use, own, or lease multi-line telephone systems must comply. 1-year waiver must be requested annually for those unable to comply with the law. The deadline for submitting that waiver is September 1st of each year. Here's Don with sports.
Just how excited was Wildcats band director Charles McCauley at Thursday night's squad off that marks the end of summer band? McCauley said he thought he was more excited than ever. Usually by squad off, the band has prepared their first song that they'll do at the first football game to perform at squad off. McCauley said by Thursday night squad off, the band not only had learned the first song, which they performed, but they've also learned the entire second song. That's half of this year's show already, and McCauley said that's never happened before. He told the band that they had set themselves up to have a successful, great year. McCauley credited his band members and their work ethic, and he added the weather also cooperated. He said there were only a couple of really hot days to deal with. With the first song learned, McCauley said next week would be used to polish it up in time for Friday night's home football game. Also boosting McCauley's mood was the big crowd of parents and other band boosters that showed up for Thursday evening's squad off. Well, the good thing is it didn't count. The Wildcats lost a game-like scrimmage to highly ranked Liberty ILO 44-28 Friday morning. Wildcats wide receiver Simeon Taylor had a big scrimmage, catching 3 touchdown passes and setting up one score with a catch. Ryan Humphreys threw 2 touchdown passes and Decorian Young threw 1. Back Lawrence Worth also ran for a 5-yard TD. The talented Leopards scored 7 touchdowns. Wildcats coach Greg Owens told his team they never got out of practice mode during the scrimmage, and I talked with Coach Owens about that and more after the scrimmage.
It's typical first scrimmage kind of stuff. You get back out here, we got music playing. You kind of get into, back on and off a lot of plays, and they know it's not really a game. So it's just kind of we getting that slowed down a little bit. The intensity level's not where it needs to be. The bottom line to turn it on. There's a couple big plays in there. Got our juices going. We felt pretty good about ourselves with those, and that was a big. The first time I really saw a bunch of energy from us. Terrell made a great hit over here and caused a fumble. But we kind of lost it again. So, it's just a process of going through all those things. And, tonight we had, there's still some young guys. And I know he thinks excuse, but there's still young guys trying to figure a few things out. We were playing with 6 or 7 sophomores again, and they're wide-eyed, and, they're not, eye discipline's terrible. They're looking all over the place, running around. And so there's a lot of technique stuff we got to clean up and fix. But we got 4 quarters of video. I bet we ran. Offensively, I think we're probably at 80 plays or so. So that's a lot of stuff to evaluate. That's a lot. The best thing about today is we came out healthy. Those things. I was disappointed in some special teams, kicking aspects of it. That's got to get better. But again, all those things are pressure situations with some guys that haven't been there yet. So those are things we got to get better. And this is that part where we talk about spring ball. That there's urgency right here in my voice because we don't have that other week right now. We don't have one more scrimmage right now. It's on. Let's get it done right now. So that's kind of where we're at. It's got to be really important next week. We got a lot of stuff in. Again, clean things up, do better. Those things.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.